Hello friends, this is Nirmal here for Technique, and in this video we're going to do the detailed review of the latest flagship device from Utilivengers, the Yunicorn. So the Yunicorn is the latest announced device by Utilivengers after launching the Eureka, Euphoria, Unique and the flagship device, the Utopia last year. So the Yunicorn is the latest device, and this comes with pretty impressive specs. It's a mid-range device. It has 5.5-inch Full HD display. It is powered by the Helio P10 Octa chipset coupled with massive 4GB RAM. There is 32GB internal storage. On the cameras, we have a 13 megapixel camera, dual tone LED flash. There is a front facing 5 megapixel camera, Android Lollipop, and this also has Android on steroids. That's the UI which Utilivengers calls. And there is also a 4000 mAh battery on this device, and this is priced 12,999, so that's an introductory price for this device, available exclusively on Flipkart. So is this device really worth buying? So let's check out in this detailed review. So first up, let's see the design and build quality. So design wise, while the Yunicorn does not offer anything new in this segment, it's a combination of a lot of devices, and we have seen this design already in the form of Honor 5X, the Redmi Note 3. We have a brushed up finishing here, very similar to the Honor 5X. The camera placement and the LED flash looks very similar to the Redmi Note 3, and in the front panel you can see a lot of similarities with the Meizu M3 Note as well. So it's a mixture of design of a lot of devices, although nothing new to offer. It's a good looking device. It's great in terms of the build quality. Finishing looks top notch, and everything looks really good. It's a unibody design, and material quality also looks very impressive. So overall, while in the design aspect there isn't anything new to offer, the build quality looks pretty good. Now moving on to the display. The Yunicorn comes with a 5.5-inch Full HD display. That's a 1080p panel which offers good colors and sharp pictures. The screen gets a protective glass from NEG, that's a Nippon Electric Glass, which means you don't have to worry about any scratches happening. The touch response on the display looks good and offers decent viewing angles as well. The sunlight legibility looks quite decent, and overall the display performs well on the Yunicorn. Now let's move on to the software and performance side. So first up, let's see the software. While you has experimented with Cyanogen on their previous devices, they have been really buggy. Say for example, the Utopia, which we reviewed last year, had a lot of bugs. The fingerprint scanner didn't work well. There was a lot of crashes happening. So you had a difficulty with the software in most of their devices, but now this time you has gone with their own software called Android on steroids, which is basically a stock version of Android 5.1 Lollipop with some minor tweaks by the company. You can see the notification center is exactly the same as that what we see on the stock Android, but there is also an app drawer, but you can see that icons have been given a personalized touch, and if you click on the app drawer, you can see it has a completely different app drawer with a vertical layout. And if you go to the settings panel, again we can see the similar approach as that of Android 5.1, and you can see a lot of options and tools. So that's the UI, that the Android on steroids, which is a custom UI, and this has been given a simple layout very similar to the stock Android. Now the phone also comes with Around You feature, which is actually introduced with the Utopia, which allows users to get access to hotels, food, shopping, cabs, train, book tickets. Just from one swipe you can get hold of these options. There are lots of other options as well. So the phone does not come with any additional customization tools, just like what we saw on the Utopia. We don't have any customization options, but it does have some minimalistic options. So you can just see some wallpaper customization. You have this monochrome option which will turn the display into monochrome. So those are some of the options available on the Android on steroids UI. Now the company has also included some basic apps like File Manager, Sound Recorder, and we have a health app. Also Ghana subscription is included. So the overall UI feels decent, and you will not have many issues if you love the stock Android experience. So it's more or less similar to the stock Android. Now talking about the performance, the Yunicorn is powered by the MediaTek Helio P10 Octa chipset, and this is coupled with a 4GB RAM, and it supports 4G LTE along with dual SIM cards. There is also 32GB onboard storage available, out of which around 24GB available to the user in the first boot. You can see the benchmark scores of the Yunicorn with Antutu benchmarking. So it's a medium score, 42,400. The other device in this category is the Redmi Note 3, which hits a score of around 70,000. So that's a big difference between those two devices, because this is the Helio P10, which isn't a really high-end performing chipset. It's a mid-range processor and does the job decently. Now, talking about the overall performance of the device, the phone performed quite well in day-to-day tasks like browsing, calls, social networking, camera usage, etc., as it has plenty of RAM available. There is 4GB RAM available, but even with the 4GB RAM, the gaming performance was not very impressive. When we tested, we found that the high graphic rich games like Asphalt 8 Airborne and Nova 3 and Modern Combat, also all these games had laggy nature, and it was not really great in terms of the gaming abilities, and this could be attributed to the Helio P10, which isn't a great mid-range performer when compared to the Snapdragon 650 or even the 617 octa-core chipsets. But at the same time, the heating on the device was well under control and no major issues on that front. The call quality on that phone was quite good, and so were the speaker units located at the bottom. The phone packs Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, while NFC is missing on this device. The fingerprint scanner is located on the bottom panel, which is integrated to the home button, and you can configure multiple fingerprints on this device, and the fingerprint scanner is really fast and unlocks the device in pretty quick time and no major issues, just like the Utopia. So the fingerprint scanner, one of the good aspects about this device, and unlocks the device in pretty quick time. Now let's move on to the camera. So the Yunicorn comes with a 13 megapixel camera, which has a 5 element lens, and also comes with electronic image stabilization. There's also front facing 5 megapixel camera. The interface of the camera is quite disappointing for a phone released in 2016, and you can see that this interface is we found these kind of interface in phones released in 2013. So this is very disappointing, and the major issue with this interface is that it does take some time to focus, and if you're somebody who takes you want to take quick photos, then this camera isn't the one for you. It does take some time to focus, and that's the major issue. Apart from that, it does feature some basic options. We have option to enable gesture shot, there is smile shot, some self timer, and some basic options are there, and it can record videos in 1080p as well. Now, talking about the camera sample, the daylight shots have good colors, a decent quality overall, and the overall clarity looks quite good. The sharpness levels could have been a tad better, but overall quite decent for a phone in this price category. Now, the low-lit photos were also quite decent for a phone in this segment, and overall we would say the camera does take some decent shots, but then it's not definitely the best in this class, but definitely one of the good cameras out there in this category. The front-facing camera also can take good selfies and does the job pretty well. Now, moving on to the battery life. The Yunicorn packs a massive 4000 mAh battery, and the battery performance is very good on this device. With regular usage or moderate usage, the phone lasted for almost 1.5 days and even more, which is very good for a phone in this category. If you are a person who loves playing games, you might be able to get even close to 2 days of battery life with this device. So unlike many phones in this segment, fast charging is one thing which is missing on the Yunicorn. So we now talked about almost all aspects about this phone. So is the Yunicorn a worth buying package? Without doubt, the Yunicorn is probably the best package offered by you so far, considering the issues the company had with previous devices. The Yunicorn is a good offering with good design, display, software, and also battery life. But the performance is not very great even with 4GB RAM, and this could be attributed to the fact that it runs on a Helio P10 chipset. Now, the Yunicorn competes with the Xiaomi's Redmi Note 3, which again has a better processor. Even the ZUK Z1 has a better processor, and there's also Moto G4 Plus, which offers a better camera and a great Android 6.0 Marshmallow experience. So if you're looking for a phone in the sub 15k price point, definitely Yunicorn is one good option you can choose from. So that's all with the detailed review of the Yunicorn. Hope you like this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to your YouTube channel for more videos. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.